Welcome back to the Alpha Gaming channel. My name is Harris Heller. I am your stream doctor, and today I'm going to tell you the 6 things you absolutely have to do if you're a brand new streamer. And I don't mean like 6 things that will be helpful. No. If you want to succeed on social media, especially on Twitch, these are required. Now, first of all, let me just say this video is not for people who are just streaming for fun. If you were just streaming for fun, you probably wouldn't have clicked on this video in the first place. This video is for people who are looking for success on Twitch. And that success might look totally
Alright, now back to my video. Alright, now back to my video. Let's pull up IGN.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Alright, now back to my video. Let's pull up IGN.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Alright, now back to my video. Let's pull up IGN.
Hobbs and Shaw.
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 Let's pull up.
Hobbs.
One second, guys. 1 second. I'm trying to get this stuff sorted out right now. Almost that time, y'all. It almost that time. It almost that time. Wait, hold on. Why is my screen looking like this? Okay. Guys, just let me know if my mic quality is bad or anything like that. Let me check, see what's going on Twitter. I'm gonna check Twitch too, though. Oh, let's get it, bro. What's going on, Pimp? What's going on? Pimp, what's the best place for me to watch this at? Let me know, let me know. I'm tweeting it out. I'm checking, let me check. I'm gonna check Twitter too. Let me check Twitch. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome to the chat, welcome to the chat. Alright then, go on Twitch. My boy done talk. There you go. I would take it that this is it. Okay. Exit that. People are going crazy right now. But guys, let me know what you think. What you think about what's going on. Yeah, reveals at it's in 2 minutes actually. Sorry, I don't have my next monitor hooked up, so I'll have to be back and forth with the chats unless I pull it up. Let me pull it up on my phone. Let's go. One more minute. One more minute. You guys are gonna get the live live update. I got my little peach. Got my water. Sponsored by Chelsea Stripes. Let's see what's going on. One more minute. Let me know what you guys think about this card, cause everything what I'm hearing and what I've already seen so far, this card is gonna be lit. Is the mic, is it too loud, or let me know how the volume is. I don't really know how the volume is. Let me know. I'll put up the stream on my phone too so I can see what's going on while I watch. Okay, so I can see the stream now too. While don't look at my phone though. Phone is trash. Sorry for not turning on the stream earlier. Wait, 2 seconds, guys. Oh Lord. For the HD. Hey! Look at the quality though. That's the M10 shot, guy. That's the M10 shot, guy. But like, look at the quality, bro. Like the gameplay is solid, right? But wow, this is all everybody's been waiting on. A new engine. They'll purchase like M4 grenade launcher, M301 grenade launcher. I'm trying to remember.
Rifle 1-1 on approach. Multiple target status. Raining fire.
Oh. Bro. Woo. Juggernaut. Bro. What's going on? What's going on, Embassy? Bro. Oh! And he ended with a nuke. They ended with... Bro!
Pre-order and get early access to the open beta.
I'm pre-ordering that right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer gameplay premiere. I will be your host, Clint Maven Evans, and joining me for this spectacular day, Benson Bow. Buddy, that trailer. Wow.
There was so much action in that trailer. I'm sure this is the first
Guys,
time
look
actually
out
got to
tomorrow.
watch the whole thing.
I'm gonna have
That
a
is
overview
awesome.
video
I'm sure
of
you caught
this.
it right at the very
I'm
end.
gonna have overview
the
video.
card, open beta as well. I'm so excited. We've obviously played it a little bit,
It's
but
gonna
now
be
we get to
tomorrow
actually
night.
jump
I
in and
work in
play
the
so
morning.
much. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, our lives are going to cease to exist for a good amount of time during that beta for sure. And then also one of the things to hit, like the beta is coming, and there's been talk of crossplay coming into this, but that's actually going to be available for the beta, Ben.
I can't wait for that. You're gonna have console to console, console to PC. Everything right at your fingertips for open beta. I couldn't be more
Cross-playing
excited.
beta?
This is
What
going
the
to
hell?
be incredible. Now, Ben and I are going to be breaking
I
down
need
a
a
lot of
pen.
the action today, but we're going to have a
I
lot
need
of
a
people
pen.
in here with us going through it all. And to kind of start it off, we've got some of the members from the Infinity Ward team. We've got Jeffrey Smith. We've got Joe Seacott. Gentlemen, how you doing?
We're doing great. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming on.
I'm excited. Thank you so much. This is gonna be awesome. So I want to kind of, before we get into the gameplay, and we've got a lot of stuff to bring you, I kind of want to get into the basics of the philosophies behind Modern Warfare. So
The
obviously,
gameplay
this is
hasn't
a
even
tough
come
task, right?
yet.
You're going with one of the most famous FPS games in the history of video games, and you guys are reimagining
This ain't alpha,
it.
it's a beach.
Jeff, how difficult was
It
that? just
actually
to get
ain't
started?
ready yet.
Yeah, it was a big thing to get over your head. So, just as single player, I kind of thought of it as a reimagining. We took it as kind of this mental exercise of thinking of it as making a whole new game, and kind of stripping stuff down and really
Boy got on
questioning
his
everything.
Rolex.
But we really had this phrase called fresh but familiar. How much stuff do you take from past previous games, and how much stuff do you make all new, right? And if you go with the old stuff, it's just gonna feel like a remastered maybe. But if you just make new stuff, you're not gonna have that DNA and the nostalgia that fans have.
I will say the Modern Warfare name, to many Call of Duty fans, I mean, that's a historic one, right? Is there any pressure internally when you decided that this was going to be the name of the game where you're like, well, that's a lot to live up for?
Yeah, there was a lot of anxiety early on.
Little pressure.
Small amount, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we've done it.
You've done it. I've played the
not
game.
not a lot of sleep, I'm sure, in the ramp up to this.
Yeah.
It's finally time. And one of the big things that you'll note as well from the trailer, boots on the ground, a phrase which means a lot to Call of Duty fans.
Yeah, I mean, we set out to make a legitimate military shooter right from day one, but we also wanted it to be fun, right? Our game's still really fluid. You can still slide and shoot. Our mantle is super fast. Like, the game just feels really good to play. We're really happy with how it turned out.
Love that.
And this is, you mentioned, not being a remaster. This is a reimagined experience.
Yes.
Jeff, can you kind of talk to me about what that entails, reimagining this for a new generation of gamers?
I'm listening to them now, but guys,
Well, it's like I said, you're taking old stuff, you're taking
I think
new
this
stuff,
squad is
and
going to bring it back.
you could
I know
maybe
we
say
had
this is
this
like
every
a love
year,
letter to Modern Warfare.
But I think
like
this
that.
squad
I
is
like
going
We've
to bring it
sampled
back.
stuff from all the different past games. We kind of
Because this
put
squad
little Easter eggs
looks like
in, and
they're gonna
from
do
systems to map
what Black
stuff
Ops
to
2
weapons.
has been doing.
We really
With
try to
Black Ops
cover
2,
all
they
the kind of
listened to the
favorite
fans.
stuff.
How
Every time the
difficult
fans
of
had a
a
complaint,
balancing
and
act,
it
I
was
guess,
an
is
uproar
that,
complaint,
pleasing
they
fans
changed it in
maybe
less
grew
than
up
2
with
weeks.
this. It was their childhood favorite game. In
This
which they
game
put
brought
thousands of
everything
hours
that
in.
people ever
And then
wanted.
the new
The number
generation,
one
which
thing that
maybe
I
isn't
wanted
as
was
familiar
modern
with
time
the
guns.
title
I
and
want to
trying
see
appeal to the
ACRs,
new gamers. It's
M4s, I want
gotta
to
be
see
tough, right?
UMPs, I want to see stuff that we
Yeah,
use
I mean,
right now.
it was a
They
kind of
brought
a line we had to
tanks. They
toe
brought
as we were making this. Is
Juggernaut.
it infinite sprint?
I see the helicopter.
Is it
They brought the
cooldown
laser
sprint?
thing that
Is
you
it
shoot
how far
at
does the
something
slide-
so
You probably have a million little
helicopter can bring
conversations
it
like
down.
that.
So many little
Not the
things, and how do
helicopter,
you
the
kind of know
planes,
where
the
you're gonna
airplanes
go?
can bring it down.
Yeah.
One of the keys for me.
Like they
is
brought a lot of
map
things that
design,
people
right?
wanted,
something
and
you
that's
touched
what I
on
love
a
about
little
this
bit
game.
there, but
The
from my
next
experience
best
playing,
thing.
you've done such a good
And I'm
job.
going to explain more of
having the
this in the
close quarter
overview
fights,
tomorrow.
But as
But
well,
the next
you know,
best
you're
thing
fighting
that they
sniping,
brought
you still
is
have
that
those long range fights. How hard has that been? Just getting
they
the maps
changed the engine.
themselves.
That's the reason why the
That's
game
Jeff
looks
in the
like
back.
how people say Battlefield and stuff like that. It's the reason why it looks like that.
Well,
is
it's
'cause
tricky. I think,
the
we
engine is
always
more
make maps that
powerful.
we try to
Not the
support
best,
every
not
play style. We have
hope
all these
that
guns,
the
and we want to
free
make sure that
second
there's a
frame
place
rate.
for snipers, there's a
Let's
place for
listen
close
up.
quarters. But in recent games, the titles have been more kind of arena shooter-ish, so you can kind of rely on these kind of symmetrical 3-lane maps. But when we're trying to make a realistic environment, and you take that realistic environment and you put it on this kind of symmetrical layout, the brain just kind of rejects it and doesn't really feel real. So for us, it's more about freestanding buildings, kind of, and the power positions that those create. And this actually kind of is very similar to how real military moves through places. They take a key location, and it's usually on a crossroad, and it has these sight lines that gives them an advantage. So that's how we kind of, it's kind of the backbone to all these maps, and it's really the way TDM actually would work well, because there's no really objective. But once that guy on a third story, you know, pops you, you have a goal in life, you want to go get him. And so we've really built a lot of mechanics around those freestanding buildings.
Secret TDM right there.
And do you think, I guess, you know, with this kind of the way you've been looking to design these maps, a lot of talk about the variety of gameplay you're trying to bring to this experience of Modern Warfare. Has that allowed you to reach kind of new heights when you just speak to a variety of gunfights, a variety of action within these maps?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can even look at our maps from a scale standpoint, where we have the gunfight maps, and then we go all the way up to larger player scales. So you're going to be playing 20v20 today in one of our battle maps.
Holy hell.
Yeah. And then and then we have a bunch of new mechanics in there, but we also have new ways to play, right? We have the night vision gameplay you saw in the trailer, and that's just a completely different way to engage with Call of Duty, right? Everyone has night vision goggles. They have infrared lasers that they aim with, but anyone else in a night vision goggle set in nods can see that laser, and so you have this cat and mouse gameplay, and we've had a bunch of things in the game that really freshen up the Call of Duty experience.
I'm kind of curious just from the developer standpoint, because as fans and viewers you don't see it as much, and we don't either from like your brains, but when you have a franchise that's been along as long as Call of Duty, and it feels like, you know, you've tried so many different things.
Glad we don't.
What's the process like to try and find those new tidbits where you can still surprise people?
It's really interesting at the beginning.
They're gonna have advantage. They don't need to be with us.
I'm like, okay,
I'm only talking about cross-play, consoles. I don't care about
what's next. Yeah, man.
I don't even want them.
But we draw. I mean, this game we had the opportunity to draw from, you know, real military and things that they would do, and that is where like the night vision gameplay stuff came from, and the doors and things like that. We have a big, I guess, a suite of functionality for doors and how you interact with them that really changes up the flow. And you think about it, it's just a door.
But I also think that, you know, when you have a franchise that's been around this long, you gotta have so much features and mechanics up in the attic. That was the kind of point of us trying to strip stuff down and really question the stuff that we were putting into it. So every single thing we put into the game, we really looked at, analyzed, tried to make better, or make a better version of that stuff, just to kind of force us to get away from preconceived notions of what Modern Warfare is or Call of Duty is, and just spark new ideas.
And we had a goal with every change we made. We talked about, like, we wanted to add more depth and replayability to each firefight, and that's kind of how we look at each change that we put into the game.
That makes sense. And obviously, when you have a franchise that's been around for so long, you have fan favorite weapons, I'm sure, and it's maybe some new weapons. And that's the one thing from the trailer and playing. There's a lot of variety, a lot of unique different weapons in the game.
Yeah, we have a bunch of classic guns.
Thanks for the sub
we have a
follow,
bunch
boy.
of new ones, like standard issue guns that are the military is using now, and that's how we stay relatable, modern, authentic. And we'll dig into it in a little bit with the gunsmith stuff, but we also stripped our weapon systems down completely, how we do recoil, how we do bullet travel through the world, and to add more
Real
depth.
projectiles?
Yeah, we added projectiles to our guns. And we did it in a way that in close quarters it still feels like Call of Duty, feels really tight, but then when we have our big battle maps, you have these long-range engagements, there's this new layer of depth of like, do I have to lead my target a little bit? What caliber weapon am I using? Is it going to penetrate this surface? And so we feel like we've really elevated Modern Warfare.
Well, when it comes to the weapons, and one of the key things I think with any Call of Duty title is kind of the progression, right? As you unlock different attachments, whatever it might be. How is this going to work? Because one of the things that's been highlighted a lot has been how it all kind of works together, right? This unified progression. Joe, can you speak to that within Modern Warfare?
Yeah, I mean, we really wanted to, what was the saying that our creative director said? Like, continuity and consistency was one, right? We wanted, you know, the guns that we were using in the campaign to feel just like they did in multiplayer and in Spec Ops. And then when you're talking about progression, we didn't want, you know, people to be like, I'm a Spec Ops player, or I'm a MP player, or I'm a campaign player. We wanted you to be a Modern Warfare player. And so when you're playing with your weapons in Spec Ops and you're actually progressing through Gunsmith and unlocking attachments, that correlates or translates right back over into
That's very cool.
multiplayer.
That's awesome.
Very, very cool.
I like that a lot. And it's worth mentioning, one thing that we found out yesterday, there's no season pass this year. How is that going to work?
It's going to work great.
It's going to be awesome.
I like that.
Well, that's the big thing, right? Everybody, you know, in previous games, you've kind of gotten the map pack here, and he's gotten the other one.
Right,
everybody just starts kind of deviating. We want to keep everybody together. We want that content to be there for everybody.
That's perfect,
and continue it on.
I've been buying season pass from that time, and
when you say
all
for
the
everyone,
all the
you mean free?
Yeah.
It's completely free.
Free content.
Yes.
I like that.
Free.
For everyone.
Free for everybody. That is awesome.
No, that is fantastic to hear. But no, it's been fantastic. You guys aren't off the hook quite yet. It's been great kind of diving into the high-level philosophies of stuff, but to kind of show more of the in-game and how stuff's going to play out, we want to get into Create a Class. I'm going to introduce Ashton Williams. She's going to be with us from Infinity Ward as well. Ashton, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm super. I am doing absolutely fantastic today. I'm very excited for a glorious day of Modern Warfare.
I mean, I'm surrounded by streamers. I got Doc to my right over here.
Hey,
We're showing multiplayer. I mean...
You've got Courage close to you, though, and he's one of the loudest human beings on the planet, so I'm hoping that you're going to be able to get through. Hey, Jack, what's up, buddy? I don't know who thought it was a good idea to put him up front. I thought he'd be like in the back pocket, like out deep.
We're going to hear him all through today. But Ashton, I want to get to business. Obviously, the Create a Class system, the operators. I think that's the first thing you have to decide, right?
Yes. I mean, the operators are purely to make you feel like a badass when you get into the game. So when you first load up, you'll see we've got back to the factions. So we've got the Coalition, respectively, on the west, and the Allegiance on the east.
I think I got to get him.
Default kind of
The guy in
strike
the right.
here. And as you go
like
in
he's
and
from
actually
Zimbabwe.
select your operator, you can get a little... And this, I mean, obviously we have some stuff locked here, but I'm gonna roll it.
That guy looks like a badass.
D-Day.
They all look pretty badass. I like Zane.
Yeah, so my two favorites, Zane.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's got a tactical poncho.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, before I get yelled at by Joel, it's not a cape.
It's not a cape?
It's not a cape.
Not a cape. Tactical poncho. But moving forward from operators, the actual Create a Class system, this is where things get really, really interesting to me, because the first thing to note, Pick 10 is no more.
Yeah.
Thank
We
God.
wanted to keep it
Pick 10.
simple, you know. And as Jeff said, we wanted to kind of move our complexity into gunsmith and keep the front, like, if you want to have a tactical, you always have a tactical. You always have a lethal. You're always ready for that.
Yeah, we're just trying to pick where the complexity is, and so we're not asking too much of the player. And we want them to kind of really dig into the weapon and focus on that. So.
Well, where a lot of the customizable options comes is the gunsmith, and Ashton's going to hop in there for us. So this is new, and this is wild, and this is awesome. Can you guys kind of talk to me about what is special and very cool about the new gunsmith feature?
Well, I mean, early on, we really kind of decided that, or realized that your weapon is the main character in MP, and it's what you use to interact with our world. And so we should really, we kind of just put all our chips in on this system. We had to convince the studio of this crazy endeavor, and we're averaging 30 to 60 attachments per weapon.
Yeah.
The 30 is on the pistols. It's a little harder to scrape with some attachments, but you just use the weapon and they unlock. And
to clarify, for example, if you were to pick the AK-47, right, you can change that. Like, for example, you take the stock away, all of a sudden you have the AK-74U.
Actually, you can do a caliber change, short barrel, and get the AK-74U, and then you can actually do a drum mag, long barrel, muzzle brake, like ACOG, and make more of an RPD. Like, you can really, like, the guns are really flexible.
Well, Ashton, what have you been building over there? What's your go-to?
I'm an AK player, or an AR player. I mean, we do have an AK on here. So I'm just making kind of a newbie class.
Ashton, jump to that pistol that you have on that loadout, and then go into gunsmith and then toggle it so we can rotate it around.
Oh, there it is.
This is the sexy shot.
Yeah.
And one thing as well that I'm not sure if people at home actually caught, but you actually have perks on the guns as well now.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's kind of we kind of wanted a little get-out-of-jail-free card where we didn't have to put a physical attachment on everything, but you'll find a lot of fire select stuff in there, caliber changes. And
yeah, things that we don't want to make something up, right? Like, here's this knob on the side of the gun and it does this. So we wanted to have some things that were functional that weren't represented, but everything else, all the other slots, every piece is there, and we actually built all of the functionality based on real life, how it would affect the gun.
I feel like I'm going to be like Tony Stark at Dask. The stuff that it looks like I'm going to be able to do with this, like just endless hours of customizing and finding the best setup, what you really like to use. It's sensational stuff. I do want to chat then a little bit kind of about tacticals and lethal. So you mentioned when it was going away from the Pick 10, one of the core things you wanted here was to make sure you had that lethal and tactical. We'll start off in the lethal side of things. It looks like mostly fan favorites from the overall series.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Thermite's a new one. Yeah, the Thermite's a good one because we have vehicles in the play space, right? You saw in the trailer we have that light tank, and like the Thermite's great. It's a fun tool. Throws kind of like a throwing knife.
That looked painful.
And it sticks, but it burns right through vehicles, so it's a great counter to that.
Try to land one on a chopper that flies by.
Yeah.
You said that with a smile, like you've done that.
You can.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then moving forward towards tacticals, I know you have a fan favorite one here. It's what, the snapshot grenade? How do you even come up with this idea of a snapshot grenade?
This was a funny story. It's actually my son got a toy. It was like a little ball, disco ball with a stick and 2 blades, and it actually will sense the ground and not land, so it just kind of floats there. I actually the next morning ran and kind of snuck in and did a tactical door breaching.
Wow.
I threw it into Joel's office, freaked him out, and said, "Hey, let's do this." And so it actually goes in, it flies up, and kind of takes a snapshot of the room and does thermal imaging.
Yeah.
And this is kind of an evolution of the concussion grenade giving you those hit markers.
Yeah.
So it just gives you that quick read.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And then what do we have as well? Let's talk about the perks. So perks are obviously back in the game. You talked about perks on weapons. This will be more of your standard perks. And double time, one of the new ones, because there's some changes right to the sprint options within Modern Warfare, correct?
So what double time does, there is a big change. Double time, early on we were like, do we do unlimited sprint? Do we do sprint with a cooldown? And in the end we ended up with unlimited sprint. Feels good, it's user friendly. But we still wanted that kind of like tactical boost, that way to get from one piece of cover to another really, really fast. And so we added a thing called tactical sprint. And if you're moving forward and you click the stick twice, your gun actually comes up to signify that you're not engaging in combat, you're just sprinting. It allows you to move really fast for a short amount of time. And then
it's a risk reward, right?
It's actually the oh shit button.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast. Just run away. But kind of moving forward from perks, the thing that excites me the most, kill streaks.
Yes.
They have returned for Modern Warfare, and there's a whole different host of them here, and some of them very, very exciting. Of course, the Juggernaut we saw in the trailer.
Yes.
That is badass. And I think you guys in rehearsal were telling me that there's like music that plays as well when you're in the Juggernaut suit?
Yeah, so when you get the Juggernaut suit, you hear metal music in your ears.
Just cool.
And it's just like,
That's
such a fun kill streak. It's just your moment to just be like, F you, everybody.
Well, that's part of why I love that kill streaks were back. Like, when I get on COD, I want to go in, I want to dominate. It's about me dropping stats, dropping numbers, earning streaks, and this is one that'll be fun.
There's actually a funny thing. This actually plays in 3D space, so it'll sound like somebody's listening to like music out of headphones.
Yeah.
So you actually be able to hear like the music coming out.
That's so cool. I love that. And then the other one as well that we wanted to touch on was we saw it again in the trailer. Is like the tank.
Yeah, the light tank, the IAV. And
of course, it's my year, YT. Come on, YT. YT, you know this my year.
Kill streaks. So
look
one
at this
player
card, bro.
mans the tank and the main cannon, and another player's up on top manning
it's
the 50
that real
cal.
stuff right here, bro.
And some of our bigger
this
maps,
right here, what I need. We
These
going pro, YT.
And if you have it
we going pro.
then we
YouTube going up.
Map, we'll swap
your
it out
YouTube
with a
going up.
one called a Wheelson.
Yeah.
Getting sponsored.
Really scary.
I like the big
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
In the trailer, that did some serious work.
You like to go big, Ben?
Absolutely, of course, man. You know that.
Oh, I'm gonna dominate on this game. I've got a feeling that is gonna be so fun. But all right, it's been very cool to have Ashton kind of showing us through the actual setup of it. But I'd love to actually hop into a game if we could and talk through some of the action, some of the new features within the actual game. I believe we're gonna be hopping into headquarters is what we're gonna start things off with.
It returns.
Yes,
you brought headquarters back.
Well, with all this work in the kind of freestanding buildings, and we'll talk about it in some mechanics. We have all these doors and stuff. Being able to defend a interior space gives us that kind of Black Hawk Down, last man standing, because with headquarters, of course, the defending team doesn't respond. So it's down to we show you how many are left, and it gets really high tension.
Before we dive too much into the new tactics and elements in the game, can we just talk about how goddamn beautiful it is? I mean, the big push before this, it's a new engine, right? Can you kind of talk me through what goes into that? Like, what is going to stand out to the new player that gets Modern Warfare?
I mean, we use a new technique called photogrammetry, and what we do is a lot of the art in our game is actually scanned, 3D scanned from real-world objects. We go like our.
You keep bringing me closer to Tony Stark stuff every time you go for these things.
It's crazy. The whole process has changed, right? Like artists would sit in a room and they'd art a character, but now we have whole, I guess, wardrobes that people wear, and like people drive along the road and they find like a burnout car and they're like, "We found it. This is awesome. Come here, bring it with us."
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, we'll take gear and we'll actually throw it in a pool for a while, so it gets like worn and beat up, and then we'll scan it so it looks more grounded and real.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of that did it go into, we touched on a little bit earlier, like the realistic environments. Was that part of the process as well, or how did you guys get in to make these look so realistic and so awesome?
Yeah, it's actually scanning real world things. We scanned old burnt out cars, these little rubble piles, and we kind of have to work that in. And it was actually a big task for the art department to kind of have
this
new workflow.
Hey, we got all these pictures. You guys are now have to create all of this.
Yeah. So it took a little while for us to kind of get up and kind of used to that system and really get rolling.
Oh, game looks, as maybe said, absolutely beautiful.
Oh, Ashton, come on.
One of the things that I do want to talk.
Ashton, your job's on the line here, just FYI.
Way to put pressure on her here, Maven.
Well, I'm just letting her know she won't put it up anymore.
On the fly modifications, you can, I believe, what is it? When you die, you can actually go to where you're picking your class and modify things right there and then.
Yep, you can edit in the game, all in game. And
there we go, Ashton.
It will actually swap out next time you die.
Okay.
You can swap out any weapons. Early on, we were kind of unlocking attachments really fast.
Right,
and we found it really fun to just unlock a new attachment, put it on, and go.
I was going to ask where that came from, kind of that idea, like where that started.
It was just we ramped up the earn rate on attachments, and we just kind of wanted to test it in game, and it just was this kind of cool, like I can hot swap things out.
It feels like there's just like a weapon playground now, like between the gunsmiths and the game, like it's nuts.
Well, one thing we didn't mention when we're going through the creator classes is field orders. And I saw Ashton actually got the field orders. Do you want
field
to talk,
upgrades.
Field upgrades. Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about what they are and how you came to bringing that into the game?
Sure. Go.
Yeah, so we like the idea of a reward that players got kind of regularly. But we didn't want it to be like this kind of like I win button. Like, okay, it's super weapon clock.
I got this.
And
So I win now.
We looked for things that would help players support their team for the most part. It's not true for everything, but we have like the tactical cover.
Okay.
We have the trophy system. The tactical cover you can actually mount on with our new mount mechanic. So you can mount on the top of cover. The side gives you a significant recoil bonus. And then we actually, at the beginning of the game, we let you have one field upgrade, right? And you start working through them, and you have that field upgrade, you get to use it. And then at the end, we unlocked a pro functionality for that lets you bring in two. And so in the moment, in the match, you get to choose between these two. And so you might have an offensive field upgrade, like say a scout drone that goes up and actually scouts for your team to scout an objective, or you might have a trophy system. And so in the moment, you're like, I'm in headquarters. Am I defending a point or assaulting a point? Let me choose.
It gives you that variation dependent on what's happening.
And tactical insertion has returned.
Okay.
And that's also on a cooldown in there. There's a bunch of different stuff. Funny little trick. If your buddy, and this takes teamwork, if your buddy puts out a recon drone, you can throw C4 on it.
Stop.
Yeah.
You can finish the rest of it.
Yeah. You can
That's awesome.
Put two and two together.
No, that sounds epic. And
we have to get our chemistry.
Oh no! What's going to happen is I'm going to put the C4 on, and then you're going to fly it into me.
Probably, and then we're both going to die.
Well, can we talk about some of the maybe new combat mechanics that are going to be within this? There's different stuff you talked about. I kind of want to talk about the doors a little bit because I remember the first time when I was first hearing about it because I hit up. I think I was talking to somebody at Infinity Ward. I'm like, "Can you tell me like some of the new stuff for the game?" He just looks at me and goes, "Doors." And I was like, "What? What?" He's just like, "Doors." And I was like, "All right." But there is a very new feature that's very interesting and provides some kind of wild circumstances within gunfights. Can you talk to me about the changes to doors within Modern Warfare?
Yeah, so early on we put doors in, right, and let players kind of like pause a firefight. We're like, that's kind of cool, but they felt really, really basic. So we started to layer in kind of this experience, these new features. So we have a peek mechanic that lets you saw in the trailer, open a door slightly, throw a tactical in, and then you can melee the door, go in and clear them out. And then we did some breaching, and we're like, okay, what if explosives just open doors? So players can either throw C4, clacker the door open, or they can cook a grenade. And then we had a bunch of players, whining about like, it's affecting the flow of the map. Like, this isn't how the map was built. And so we actually allow you to sprint through doors. So we have this kind of like suite of functionality around doors.
So you can be sneaky, or you can just be loud.
Yeah,
yes,
well,
exactly.
It's actually funny on this map on SD, one of the bomb sites is in this apartment building around the corner, and you can actually stack guys up on a double door. You can put a sniper pretty far back, and either they can do it or you can throw the nade from across the map, and the concussion will open the doors. You can snipe the guy that's probably going to be camping in the back, and everybody can kind of go in, and it's really fun.
I like that a lot. And, of course, we saw Ashton doing a little bit of weapon mounting as well, but it's really kind of more specific. It isn't necessarily just like leaning.
Yeah, we didn't want the kind of like head glitchy kind of scenarios you get from like a lean anywhere mechanic, right? We didn't want those sliver shots. And so, but we really like the idea of bracing your weapon on surfaces. I mean, we talk to soldiers, that's what they do. You carry a big heavy gun, you want to stabilize that gun, or
getting tired.
Those guns are actually they're pretty heavy.
So, there's a perfect example.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
Ashton, you're on point.
Thank you, Ashton. You've been on point.
Yes, but
you're going to get to keep your job. You've been good enough. I've been impressed with what you've been able to do. But thank you so much for walking us through the creative class, showing us some of the combat mechanics that are in the game. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
This person kills so fast. You see when the person just get the 3 Bs?
For development for the past 2 years, we've always had this outline around
these guns
squad
spinning
mates,
fast and they drop in
it
fast.
actually was broken in this build. but it's really important for our teammate awareness, of spatial awareness of where they are. That didn't make this build, but we'll be putting out some 4K footage of gameplay after. It'll be in there. It'll also be in the beta.
Awesome.
So.
Like that a lot.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you coming in, kind of talking high level about some of the great mechanics within Modern Warfare. Anything you want to say, maybe to your coworkers, fans, before you head out? Yeah,
we would like to say that we're lucky enough to be the ones up here kind of presenting this game, but there's a whole studio of people that really put their heart and soul into this game, and it really means a lot to us. So thanks for checking it out, and hopefully everybody has a good time.
Honestly, thank you for joining us as well. The game we played, it's fantastic, looks brilliant as well. You've done a really good job. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Joe, Jeff, thanks a lot. But guys, before we get further into the show, we have a lot more to show you. Upcoming, we are going to show you the Dark Edition coming for Modern Warfare. Let's take a look.
Hold on, after this, I got this finishing. Hold on 1 second.
Joel, you're my favorite person.
This will be fun. Look, the game can really be fun. Okay, October the 25th.
Hello and welcome back. How awesome do we look?
I'm gonna be honest.
Ben, how awesome do we look?
These are actual night vision goggles, and I need everyone at home to realize
when I was a kid,
these actually these are the real thing. These work.
I wanted for Christmas for years of my life to have night vision goggles, and now
these are amazing.
Thank you so much to Joel Emsley, who
All
has
your
joined
dreams
us.
can come true now.
I have wanted these since a child, and you have made this a reality. I am so
You never have to
excited.
be afraid of the dark unless your enemies have these.
Joel, I need you to realize I'm taking this home with me.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
We'll be all right.
I don't care if it is okay with you. I'm putting one of they're coming with me.
They look great on you guys. It's a great accessory.
Does that look badass?
It puts the entire ensemble together.
How did
you look tactical?
You don't typically see somebody in a button down in night vision. Now you have.
You have to dress it up a little bit, dude.
Well, you talk to me a little bit about your role at Infinity War with the upcoming Modern Warfare.
Yes,
I'm the studio art director.
I think they dropping. That's the only problem I see with this. But you gotta look at it too. It's local, number one. Even though I know they still gonna drop fast, it's local.
So when we went back to reimagine Modern Warfare, we
really
knew that night vision was going to play a big role, and we decided to.
I mean, like if you look at it when the Maddox or so,
10 years
somebody
later, you can the tech
with
is
all
just
the bullets they drop
crazy.
fast.
These things are
I don't know, bro.
incredibly functional.
I think
We designed them to be our own part of our own universe.
I don't know.
The labels on here from a manufacturer that exists in the Modern Warfare universe. It's like a XRK. It's a weapons manufacturer that does optics and stuff and gunsmiths. So it all ties together. We put it in the game. You see them wearing. Captain Price is actually wearing these. They're all over the place. And then we took them into the real world and made them work.
Because obviously the night versions of the maps, that's where these actually come into play, and that's what you're seeing here. I'm just so impressed that you actually managed to make these. How did that process even begin? How do you even say, all right, we're gonna make night vision goggles? Yep, that's what we're gonna do. How does it start?
It was fun. I mean, you start with an idea, and Nick Levisis is the designer at Infinity Ward, came up with a design, modeled them out, handed them off to that was the design phase for the physical. And then we actually handed off to Jeremy Thurman, one of our artists, and he actually took that version and put it in the game. So it kind of went two ways, went into the universe of the game, and it went out into the real world. So
because we should say the Dark Edition, you get you actually get
just funny about what's in there.
We were doing rehearsals yesterday, and like we're in it, and like we're going through the script, and I'm like, we're talking a lot about these night vision goggles. I'm like, these are so cool, but like, what does this come into play for the Dark Edition? Then you're like, oh, you get them. And I was like, what?
Yeah, there's a whole basically almost a collector's.
Look at this! Like, this has got to be
great stuff.
This has got to be the coolest edition of a game ever. It comes with night vision goggles.
And I want to point out that
there's a history in here too.
I was about to say that the operators, if I'm not mistaken, the all gillied up pack and even all of them, that's some old school operators right there.
Claude,
We went back in the
Claude,
archives.
I know
The
Claude is
original
really
ghillie suit was
paying
made by
attention
Leo
to
Cuesta.
their fans.
And,
The reason why I'm
I
telling you
phoned
they're
him up
paying
and I said,
attention
you
to
know,
their
do you
fans
have the ghillie
and
suit
really
that you
going
made
on.
for Call of Duty 4? And
These
he said,
niggas
yeah, I
losing
got
some
it.
money.
Can you send it to us?
If they real night vision
Let's put that
goggles,
in the game.
they
And then
cost
actually,
way more than what you
Crew
paying for
Expendable,
your
All
pockets,
Gillied Up,
bro.
and Warpig are actually,
And
they're
they really
all
are.
pulled from Call of Duty
But they
4. All
probably
the
gonna
original
make their money
props went
back
into
some
the
other way
warehouses and
because
got that stuff
Saxon
going.
lost
So
some money.
it's
If they
pretty
real,
cool to
that's a
bring them
loss.
into this game.
That is absolutely
Yeah, no, I think pretty cool is putting it lightly. This is one of the more awesome things I've seen. I'm not kidding. This is coming with me. I'm going to wear it
Now
everywhere.
you can hunt
For real,
farmers
though,
here.
Pimp, for
I'm
real.
gonna show. I'm just
You
gonna
don't go
walk
nowhere
up
with
to
that slide,
McDonald's drive-through with this on my head. Like,
All
I'll
that
take
slide
two,
is
double cheese.
yeah,
For
basically a
safety,
crouch.
they fit on tactical helmets and all that good stuff. So they're pretty versatile and they work great. They have a short range and a long range setting.
That's incredible.
Automatically,
At
will
least they
switch
know
night
one thing,
vision,
Bill.
it'll pick up light, all that good stuff.
Well, and you saw at the bottom of your screen for just a moment there, but you can pre-order now at CallOfDuty.com. So if you want
This
to get
game
the
I have a
Dark
lot to
Edition,
do.
if you want to have night vision goggles
With
and
teamwork,
be as cool as
number
Ben
one.
and I just were,
Number two, you got
you
to have
can do it.
awareness and
I
map
go
and
with
awareness and
CallOfDuty.com.
everything going
Stealing
on.
these or permanently borrowing. Joel,
You
hopefully
got
that's
some
good.
real tactical
Yeah,
skills.
no one's. I think you can get
So
away
we
with it.
got
You
some
run
work to
fast
do.
After this, those
Okay.
guys won't.
We got some
I'm not
work
very
to
fast. I am not very
do.
fast. So this is awesome. This is very cool to see in the Dark Edition. Obviously amazing. Thank you so much for the insight on what went into kind of bringing these into the game and into the Dark Edition. But thank you, Joel, for joining us.
Thanks for
Very,
having me.
very cool. Thank you for designing these. And I do, as we say farewell to Joe, I kind of want to recap what we've been discussing. In case you're just joining us, let's go through sort of a quick rundown of everything we've just seen and discussed so far. So if you didn't see the trailer, you got to check it out immediately on YouTube. Also, for the multiplayer open beta, that is coming later this year, this fall. It's going to have crossplay. It's going to be incredible. Ben, we're going to spend a lot of time in the open beta.
I can't wait. And as you mentioned, crossplay for the open beta, that is going to be fantastic. We also talked a little bit about Gunsmith, all kinds of customizable weapons, as well as a ton of new maps.
And there's going to be an ongoing stream of free updates. So no more DLC, free content following the launch this fall, which I think everybody is very pleased about. That's awesome to see out of Infinity Ward and the next upcoming title for Call of Duty. And then the Dark Edition, which we just showed you. It comes with a set of night vision goggles, which we have in front of us. Look at these puppies. Pre-orders are live. You can get hooked up at callofduty.com. But we're moments away from the gameplay. So what this is all about, obviously, we wanted to have some time with the developers talking about the game and everything we're excited about and kind of where their thought process was behind the development of this. But we have, what, 36 streamers here from across the world.
Yes.
That they're going to be throwing down on Modern Warfare.
Yes, our close friends who I personally can't wait to roast. But I mean, it's going to be something. We talked a little bit about crossplay, obviously, and we'll see that. We'll see that as well. A couple of guys playing on PC, a couple of guys playing on console.
But first up, how we're going to show it off is going to be 6v6 gameplay. So we're going to see 4 new maps in a variety of modes, along with a special night version of one of those maps. Later, we're going to ramp things up with a couple of rounds of 10 versus 10, and the ramping up ain't stopping. How do you feel about 20 versus 20? It is going down. We'll get into a couple rounds of serious team deathmatch
I might
on
stop
a
the
large
stream
scale with
and watch
20v20, and we'll wrap it all up by showing off the gunfight mode with a bit of friendly competition in a 2v2 exhibition bracket. So yes, it's friendly. These guys, they know each other, respect each other, but throughout the stream,
before I go,
they're going to be going at it.
Yes, we are doing crossplay with
right
PS4
here
and
on the Call of
Xbox.
Duty channel.
On
We're
the
going to be
beta.
cherry picking the most awesome gameplay
No PC,
from all of our
no
36 streams. You're going to see the best of all the action right here. Trust me, this is the place to be.
It absolutely is. But before we get into that gameplay, the final bit of business I do want to get to is on a more serious note. The gameplay is incredibly important, but we would like to introduce you to a vital and inspiring charity that's helped veterans secure a high-quality job after their military service, and that is the Call of Duty Endowment. We're finding a high-paying, fulfilling job once they leave the service. It's a huge challenge for vets and their families. The Call of Duty Endowment has funded the placement. Ben, it's been more than 60,000 veterans since it was funded in 2009.
Yeah, it's a lot, and their current goal is getting 100,000 veterans back to work by 2024, and it can only happen if the Call of Duty community helps as well.
And every dollar you donate to the Call of Duty Endowment goes towards helping vets in both the U.S. and the U.K., Ben.
Yep, that's also very, very important. And now you have to love it. This dollar, every single dollar, 100% of your donations goes directly to endowment grantees. Everything directly to them.
And this is a tangible way to say thank you to our servicemen and women for their service. You can find more ways to help out at callofdutyendowment.org/help and follow them on Instagram at Call of Duty Endowment. But it's a fantastic cause. If you can be involved, please do. Yeah. But this is how the Call of Duty Endowment works, by getting our vets to work. Let's take a closer look at this amazing organization and their mission.
Viper 1-1 on approach. Multiple target sighted. Raining fire.
I know AC is too cool. There you go. Cut that off.
Pre-order and get early access to the open beta.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the official launch of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We're showing off multiplayer for the first time, and Ben, so far it has been wondrous.
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. Obviously, speaking to the developers, it is massive. Gives us some insight, maybe some extra tips and tricks that hopefully some of our streamers have taken note of, because we're going to be critiquing their gameplay from now on.
Yeah, so this is where we get into the big chunk of the show. This is where we're going to have all these streamers out here playing the game. We're going to hop to various modes, and to join us to kind of break down the action, talk through the gameplay, we've got Joey Merc DeLuca and Anthony Nameless Wheeler. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling amazing. I mean, we're here at the multiplayer reveal. It's new Call of Duty. It's the most exciting part of the year for me. I love it.
This is, yeah, I'm with Ben. Like, it's cool to, as much as I'm excited to see the players play, it's really cool to hear from the developers kind of there. Because it's hard, man. Like, when we're talking with them, it's like, you've been making these games for so many years, like, finding the new things, the way to change things up, the new maps, the new guns. It was really cool to hear the insight from Joe and Jeff. But I got to feel for you guys. You got a little bit of hands-on with the game, but are you guys pumped to kind of see these guys give it a shot?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great players here. I can't wait to see how all the gun plays out, right? There's just so many new features that we're going to see here today, and I just can't wait to see it live in action. It's going to be a ton of fun.
I'm mostly excited to see the fails. I'm going to be.
That, well, honestly, yeah, we love a good fail every now and then. Yeah, maybe mishaps, right? That's what they called it.
I have a lot of those because am I the worst player on this desk?
Oh, probably. Maybe Ben.
What? Disrespect me like that.
I throw you under the bus.
But now we're going to see a wide array of maps. We're going to see a lot of different modes throughout the course of this. And basically, 36 streamers, and we'll kind of be hopping from POV to POV. So obviously, we're going to capture every single moment, but we're going to show off the best of the best. And like we said earlier, it's going to kind of end in that bracket play, which should be interesting.
I think we all have an idea of who the best players here are going to be, and they're the ones that we're probably going to spend the majority of our time watching.
True. Is there anyone that stands out?
Shroud, instantly.
Yeah.
He's just so good.
Also, we got Courage. We got Courage here. Want to give Courage some love.
Teep as well, obviously. You know, Teep, a former professional Call of Duty player. We're gonna be, you know, seeing how he does in the 2 versus 2.
Well, it's not just gonna be us. So we're gonna be on the desk, kind of breaking down the action and talking through things. We've also got a couple folks with us to talk to the players and go through it. First up, it's gonna be our pal Christine Leahy. How you doing?
I'm good, Maven. How are you?
I have a lot of energy, which is a problem sometimes, but I'm doing well.
Energy is never a bad thing. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm really excited to meet you, Kitty Plays. I haven't met you yet. I see you're having a lot of conversations. You're talking a lot with your fans right now on your stream. What are you most excited about that you saw so far?
I think I'm excited for the Noob Tube to be back. That was one of my favorite guns that I played with in the past in like middle and high school, so it's definitely a nice thing to have to get those easy eliminations, and I'm looking forward to using it today.
We were just talking, actually. You play with a lot of celebrities, a lot of traditional sports athletes. Who has been the best player you faced off against in Call of Duty?
In Call of Duty? Oh, I'm not sure. I haven't played a lot of celebrities in Call of Duty yet. It's been in other games, but...
well, we got to get them on it. Who would you want to play in Call of Duty?
I think I would like to play against Baker Mayfield because I know he's a big COD, Halo, Fortnite fan, so I'd love to play against him in this game.
Got to get him over to Call of Duty. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to see you play.
I'm excited to play. Thank you.
Maven, back to you.
Thank you so much, Christine. And Joe, you're a Browns fan, right?
I tell you what, I woke up today feeling dangerous. I love that answer. Baker Mayfield, come on down, because let me tell you, I would love to play some COD with you.
Well, it's probably been fun. You know, you've got decades of failure, and now this is your year.
Yeah, people always ask me what's it like to wake up on Sundays, and I don't know. Well, this year, you know, to see what all the excitement is about. But yeah, I mean, Baker, if you want to ever get carried in some COD, I'm your guy. I got you.
I'm not your guy, but I'll play with you. I'll be dual carried. But no, it's not only going to be Christine. We also have America's next top fitness model. We got from the CWL is Douglas Sitzer Martin. How you doing, Doug?
Corey
I'm
doing well.
Good.
How you doing? I'm doing great, man. And he playing behind his teammate, so they can't. The person he have to be behind is DJ. So that's crap. ICR, they ain't got no ICR no more. So that's crap. Curls is be drinking now. Luis Alvarez, he can't play no more.
I know you're not a competitor. I know you're a streamer full time. You're an entertainer. But this is a big deal. This is the multiplayer review. I know you want to put on a show. What are your expectations?
Doug, I have one of the highest
earnings in the last Call of Duty game. You can check esportsearnings.com. I'm absolutely
this thing looks like Modern Warfare 3. My favorite quarter is Modern Warfare 2.
Loud and have more people on Reddit saying, I don't play COD.
There was a game where you get to play this Infinity War game.
And I'm going to show you the best classes you can have today. Look at this. In the creator classes, you can put 5 attachments per weapon. Do you hear that right now? 5 attachments.
I have AR class. I have SMG class. I have a precision rifle, like a marksman type rifle. I have a run and gun AR, and then I have a sniper.
He eating, but
overkill, quick
spot
class.
Niggas missing all these shots.
I want to be on the inside, but the Scumpy on the outside.
They could even say eating just
I just literally 2 minutes ago, Jack was just helping out Doc over here with the settings. I don't know what he was doing. Something tells me that Jack has something up his sleeve. Clint, we're going to roll it back to you now.
I want to point out, Clint, before you take that, I actually helped Jack out with all of his classes.
Yeah, he had no idea what he was talking about.
No idea.
Wait, so all that bragging he just did about his classes, you did that?
So he looks at me and was like, what do I use? I was like, don't worry, Jack. We're friends. I got you.
I mean, we got to play a little bit yesterday.
Right,
We got a couple of secrets, and it looked like you were helping him out.
Little tips and tricks.
He had no idea what he was talking about.
Not as much.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's going to be us 4, and we're going to have Christine and Sensor also helping us out. So thanks, guys. They'll be kind of getting feedback, chatting with the players over the course of the day, but it's time to get into it. I want to get into the gameplay. It's going to be the 6v6 gameplay we're going to be hopping into. I'm excited for this because what we went back to 5v5 this year, we're now back to 6v6. I believe we're going to be starting out, it's going to be runner domination. So I'm sure most people are familiar with domination, but just at the basic level, Joe, talk to me about domination.
Yeah, domination, 3 flags, A, B, and C. You get points by capturing those flags. The more flags you have, the more points you get, and well, you win the game by having all those flags and getting all of those points. So yeah, I mean, everybody knows domination, but you want to get as many flags as possible.
Well, hopefully shortly here, the guys will be loaded up, and we've got a lobby full. We've got a ton of different games going on. I think we're going to be hopping kind of pod to pod to just show off different players throughout the course of this. Jack is just slugging energy drinks right now, hyping himself up. Jack, what are you saying now?
He's just screaming.
Jack just loves you.
Whoever did the seating chart needs to be fired.
All right, yo,
He's too close to us right now.
Get him and Legion just tossing the back. It's got to be tough too for him because he's sitting next to Doc, who is just basically better than him in every way. Doc's what, like 6'8".
He's also way taller than him.
Lean muscle.
Good boy.
Jack's looking like Frodo-esque next to him at the deck. Well, at least they're sitting. Even sitting down though, he's got 12 inches on.
He's incredibly more talented.
This shouldn't be the roast of Jack.
Oh, you're right.
Look, Jack's a fantastic player, but let's get to the action, right? That's what everyone is here for. Let's see some multiplayer 6v6 domination. I think the map they said was going to be runner. This is a map that we brief little bit of games on. Not one.
We're going to run a couple maps, yeah.
But a couple of maps. It seems pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.